School-based sex education programs love to buy it. Parents think it teaches responsibility. And many students end up kind of liking it, even though that was not what it was designed to do. And it's not that it's just a waste of money. It can actually end up doing the exact opposite of what it was intended to do. And it's the students, it's the teens that end up dealing with these consequences of poor decisions made by teachers and administrators. Because the adults in the room are afraid. They're afraid of dealing with the parents and the parents objecting to the sex ed curriculum. So they decide we'll take the safe option. Because if you spend thousands of dollars on these machines, it's gotta work, right? You've probably figured out what I'm talking about. But if you haven't, take a guess. Here's 5 clues. It's small, it's rechargeable, it needs your attention when it starts to make noise, it comes in a variety of colors, and it's not worth the money. You're thinking mechanical baby? If you're not, go on and comment what your guess was. School-based sex education oftentimes struggles with how to teach kids about sex without using fear-based tactics. And I know, I was a sex ed teacher. So when some administrator says we've got $25K to spend on sex education for all of the students over the next 5 years, why don't we invest in those babies that cry? So then they'll probably not want to have sex, and the parents won't be mad because we're not actually teaching sex ed. All of the admins start high-fiving themselves, giving each other pats on the back because they think they've come up with the solution to the sex ed problem. And they go on and buy 100 of these infant simulators. And it is the biggest waste of money in sex education because it does not actually work. The issue with a lot of school-based programs that use assignments like infant simulators is that their goal is to try and convince teens that parenting is hard. And they want to show them the reality of what it's like to take care of a baby in hopes that it will deter them from having sex. But that doesn't work. Because the thing is, for the vast majority of teens, they are not choosing to have sex because they want to make a baby. Not at all. There are a host of reasons why teens have sex, but the major one is because it feels good. And that's on par for why the majority of adults who have sex do so, because it feels pleasurable, not because they want to become a parent. Infant simulators are not a cheap investment. They can run anywhere between $200 and $500 per each mechanical baby. So let's say you've got a class of 30 students and you want them to each have an infant simulator for 1 week during this sex ed lesson. You're looking to spend between $6 and $15K on just the machines alone. And for what? What is the goal of infant simulators in sex education? For many schools, the main aim for providing sex education is to reduce the unintended teen pregnancy rate. There are many public health advantages to having a low teen pregnancy rate. And for many schools who implement sex education, that is one of their main goals. And so if that's the goal, it's crucial that these schools are aware that these infant simulators have not been actually shown to reduce the unintended teen pregnancy rates. One study found that schools in the US saw no significant impact on teens' perceptions of pregnancy and parenting by using an infant simulator. And there were schools in Australia that actually saw an increase in teen pregnancy rates using infant simulators when compared to schools that were using just a standard sex ed curriculum. More teens got pregnant after going through a simulated infant curriculum. Let that sink in for a moment. So if the intention of a school's sex ed curriculum is to reduce the unintended teen pregnancy rates, there are better ways. Yet, I can see why a school would choose a project like carrying a simulated infant, because it would seem like it would help to show students one of the physical, emotional, and social consequences of engaging in vaginal sex. But talk to any parent. There is absolutely nothing that can actually prepare you for what it's like to bring home baby. TPP, teen pregnancy prevention, is a public health issue. Now, this is where I'm going to get a little educational. I am going to say the word theory. Don't let that scare you. This is really important to talking about why evidence-based sex education is more effective than using an infant simulator. All right, so if you are enjoying it up to this point, go on and hit that like button and just stick with me. It's going to be very quick. Many of the public health theories around sex education, pregnancy prevention, and behavior change are applied when developing and evaluating evidence-based sex ed. And here are 3 concerns that need to be addressed when using simulated infants as the sex ed lesson. 1, it may isolate LGBTQ students because they think that the consequence doesn't apply to them. 2, it tends to remain really focused on this one outcome of sex instead of talking about how to prevent all of the perceived negative outcomes of sex. And 3, it may make them think that oral and anal sex is a safer sexual activity when compared to vaginal sex because a pregnancy can't occur. And if you're thinking I'm crazy, that that's where a teen's thinking goes, check out this video where I talk about the recent rise in anal trauma due to not using sufficient lubrication when engaging in anal sex amongst females and individuals with a vulva. Schools and parents want to help their teens understand the responsibilities associated with sex and sexual activities. I mean, I get it. I'm a parent too. There's a lot of data showing the long-term health benefits, public health benefits, economic benefits when it comes to reducing the teen pregnancy rate. So let me give you my solutions if you are a school and then if you are a parent. So if you're a school, I would suggest a curricula that is designed to build a teen's self-efficacy to prevent the perceived negative consequences of sex. It's really simple. To build a teen's self-efficacy, all you do is help them to believe that they can make healthy decisions for themselves, that you teach them that they have goals that they want to achieve, and then you give them the knowledge and the skills in order to reach those goals. So then they believe, you know what, I have the knowledge and I have the skills to do that. I can do that. And if you're new here, this is how I teach parents how to layer the sex talk starting in the intermediate age. And so now if you're a parent and you want to build your child's self-efficacy around, let's say, bodily autonomy or preventing CSA, or simply just having age-appropriate and medically accurate sex talks, I invite you to fill out this form that's linked in the description and comments below and find out if my sex ed parenting course is right for you. Let me be clear, developing a child's self-efficacy is completely different than trying to convince a child or teen to do or not do something. Parents, you can absolutely develop your kid's self-efficacy by using a simple communication strategy. And parents, once you learn how to talk to your kid like this, you won't just use it in the sex talks, you'll use it for a variety of topics to help them develop their critical thinking skills. Because nobody likes to be told what to do. Like, not me, not you, and definitely not your preteen or teen. If you want to find out more about this, go on, fill out that form that's linked in the description and the comments. And before I go, if you have not defined what is anal sex and talked about how the anus is more prone to tearing when compared to the vagina, check out this video.